Hello and welcome to this short presentation around making better use of your one-to-one meetings so that you can bolster your Business Buzz events. So I'm going to just do a short introduction. So welcome to the presentation, as I've already said. This forms part of our onboarding process for the hosts and ambassadors in the Warwickshire, Northamptonshire and Leicestershire regions. I'm James Brodie and I'm the host of a number of Business Buzz events, but I'm also the regional lead across Warwickshire and Northamptonshire, and I co-lead the Leicestershire region with Emma Smith. I am a bit of a Buzz super fan, so you'll find that I have lots of knowledge that I'm keen to share with everybody. Today, I'm not going to try and teach you to suck eggs. I understand that you're part of the Business Buzz family, therefore you are already amazing networkers. But we are going to explore how to make the most of your one-to-ones today. The focus is very much around how to make the use of one-to-ones for your Business Buzz events, but obviously what we tell you here today, or what I tell you here today, can be repurposed and used in your own businesses. If you have any questions that crop up while the presentation is going, please feel free to drop myself or Emma Smith, who's my co-lead in Leicestershire, an email, and we'll happily discuss any points with you further. So let's dive straight in. So the objectives today are obviously making the most of your one-to-ones. And what we're going to cover today is the why you should conduct a one-to-one, how you should conduct it, and your desired outcomes. I can't cover absolutely every nuance in this short presentation, but it is important to set you on the right path. It is also important to realize that your time is valuable. So by giving you these tips to make your one-to-ones more accessible and to deliver better outcomes means that you'll make better use of your time and more success from your Business Buzz events. So I'm going to step in straight away with the Business Buzz buzzwords. I'm sure you're familiar with all of these, but I do just want to reiterate them. So first of all, Business Buzz is no fuss business networking. Business Buzz has no membership. Our events are pay-as-you-go and drop-in by design. There are no scary elevator pitches with Business Buzz, and there are no lengthy speeches or training sessions. And lastly here, there's no professional lockout, so everybody is welcome at Business Buzz. We're really inclusive. There are a lot of no's in this equation, but there are a lot of no's in this equation, but they're all really positive. The Business Buzz is relaxed, informal, mix and mingle style networking, is fresh and vibrant, and it offers a real tonic to a lot of those membership organizations that are at the opposite end of the spectrum to us. However, with all of these positive no's also comes the term no commitment. Our visitors are not committed to Business Buzz as if they had paid a membership. However, by using your one-to-ones to engage with your visitors who attend Business Buzz, you will create an investment. Those people will invest in you and your business, and by default, they'll invest in Business Buzz. I can tell you from first-hand experience of running Business Buzz events that the one-to-ones is a truly powerful way to make the most of, to build your core of regular business buzzers for your local event. So, I'm going to also focus on the Buzz 321 principle here, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, but I'm going to go through it once more. So the Business Buzz 321 principle is to, when you're at a networking event, is to try to talk to 3 new people that you've never met before. After all, that is why we're there to network. We're there to build those new connections. The 2 is between the Business Buzz you're at today, for example, and the next Business Buzz for that location next month. Try and have at least 2 one-to-ones with some of those people that you've met today who are new. And the 1, of course, if you love Business Buzz as much as we do, we want you to help it grow. And we grow organically. So for us, it's really important that you encourage people to come along, bring somebody as your guest to help grow the opportunity. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, part of the 321 principle is to do one-to-ones. And we would encourage you at Business Buzz to practice what we preach. So always try and arrange to do 3 to 2 one-to-ones with people who you've met at your Buzz event. Okay. So why are you networking? It's really important to understand that not everybody goes networking for exactly the same reasons. So I'm going to give you a few scenarios. I can't cover everything. So first of all, I'm a home or lone worker and work on my own. Therefore, I go out for some mix and mingle style networking because it's good for my mental health to go and talk with other people. Or maybe I'm a dad or a mumpreneur, and so I'm working at home with children, and actually going networking allows me to have some of those adult conversations. But I might also be seeking an opportunity. Maybe I'm looking to do something new, or I'm looking to work with somebody. So that creates, I'm looking for opportunities. I might be looking for customers, but as you know, networking is not about selling. It's about building those, creating those opportunities. I could be a bit lost in my business. So what I'm doing is I'm going out networking to do some soundboarding so I can find people who can help me with the challenges in my business. Or brings me on nicely to the fact that maybe I've got an obstacle in my business, something that's a bit of a bottleneck, and I need some support in getting past that obstacle. And lastly, the thing I think for a lot of us, particularly with business buzzers, is that I'm looking for opportunities to collaborate with other business owners who maybe work in the same sector as me, so that I can offer a much more rounded and robust solution to my clients. Ultimately, irrespective of why somebody goes networking, the fact is that 99% of people who are networking are looking for business-to-business connections and are looking for something that, and looking to use networking as an affordable marketing solution for their business. So by doing one-to-ones, you can help reinforce the reasons why somebody is networking, give them real added value, and encourage them to come back and visit you once more. So moving on, why should you conduct one-to-one meetings? Well, for me, this is where the real networking magic happens. It's great that you meet people in the room, but through one-to-ones, you get to build a much better and clearer understanding of what other business owners do, and for them to get a really good understanding of what you do. So it is where the real magic happens. It's a place to start to build your business buzz community. You can, through one-to-ones, because those visitors are investing in you because you've given them some time to do a one-to-one, it means that they're invested in your business buzz community. It's the place to start building trust. Small business owners generally prefer to buy from other small business owners that they know, like, and trust. The best way to build trust for you, for your business, and for your business buzz is to do one-to-one meetings where you build that relationship in a little bit more depth than just superficially at a business buzz or any other networking event. It's the place to cement your business buzz community. If you're new to business buzz, through one-to-ones, you're able to build a robust business community where people, as I said, are invested in you, and they come back time and time again to your business buzz because you've given them a little bit of time. Yeah. It's also the place where you can begin to support other business owners in making their business successful, and for them to support you in return by having the power of understanding what each other's do, what each other does, where the gaps are maybe in somebody's business, and using your network, your community that you've built to help that business person move their business forward. So I hope that explains why we should be conducting one-to-ones. So passive networking, I want to talk about passive networking. So for the vast majority of people who go networking, they go out, they collect a series of business cards, they come back to the desk, they put them on a pile or they push them in the drawer, and they don't do the next step in the 3-2-1 principle, which is to reach out to arrange 2 one-to-ones. So most people are passive networkers because it's somebody else's responsibility to pick the phone up and make that call, or to drop that LinkedIn message out to the people that you've met today. Also, visitors often overlook the host at events. So as our host or as our ambassadors, you should be able to stand out from the crowd by being the person that picks up the phone, sends that LinkedIn message with the intention of arranging a one-to-one. So often, what gets forgotten is that the Business Buzz host and our ambassadors are actually the best connected person in that particular Buzz event. Not only that, within the Buzz community locally, they are the best connected person because they are the linchpin who connects everybody else together. So you can stand out from the crowd by being the one that's proactive, picking up the phone, sending that LinkedIn message to arrange that one-to-one meeting. Be strategic. So plan your one-to-ones. You can do this with the support of your ambassadors and also me as your regional lead, or Emma as your regional lead. We will be there to help you spread the load so that you're not having to necessarily do every single one-to-one. And actually, myself being your regional lead, my agenda will be slightly different to yours. So I might want to sort of talk to some new people at your business buzz that you don't necessarily need to talk to on month one. So by spreading the load a little bit, if there are 4 of us in the team, that means that we've actually got 8 one-to-ones that we could do. So once you've got your feet under the table at your business buzz event, and you've done your net one-to-ones, and you've started to build your community, by spreading the load between yourself, your ambassadors, and the regional lead, means that you can engage people more broadly. And if one of your ambassadors is desperate to talk to a new visitor at your buzz, there's no reason why they couldn't have the one-to-one in month 1, and you could do the one-to-one on month 2. I would also suggest that you connect with the people who are new to your business buzz, or the people you haven't met before, within about 48 hours of them attending your business buzz. The simplest way to do that is via LinkedIn. And I would recommend when you send a connection request, you send a short message that reads something along the lines of, it was great to have seen you at Rugby Buzz last Thursday. I thought it would be great to connect here on LinkedIn. And then you might want to say, would you have time for a one-to-one in the next couple of weeks? Yeah. Or when they respond to the fact that you've sent them a message and they acknowledge that you've sent them, you can then ask that question around scheduling a one-to-one. I would say try and arrange your one-to-ones fairly promptly so that you're making the most of the opportunity and you're fresh in their mind. And you don't have to do a one-to-one with absolutely every single person that walks through the door. Do be strategic. Make sure that they're relevant to you, or you want them to be part of your local business buzz community. So what should the one-to-ones look and feel like? They should be friendly and inclusive. That's part of the buzz ethos. So we don't want your one-to-ones to be any different. They should be about an hour long, and they should be roughly a 50-50 ratio. So you talk about who you are and what you do for half the time, but equally the other person will be talking about who they are and what they do for the balance. What I would say is try and use your venue. Go back to your partner venue to do your one-to-ones where at all possible. Make your venue a business buzz one-to-one hotspot. Let your venue see that you come back, you do one-to-ones, you buy a bit of cake, you have a coffee, and you put some money across the counter. That will keep them engaged with us as a part of our business buzz community. If you are unable to do a face-to-face one-to-one, sometimes it's not always convenient. It's perfectly acceptable to do a Zoom call or a Teams call. And the same principles apply. Keep them friendly and inclusive. And also maybe you'd like to do a walking meeting. Sometimes it's rather than sitting down, you can go off and do a walking meeting. It's be flexible and keep it fresh and vibrant itself. So moving on now, what I would like you to do is to be yourself as well. Be a Business Buzz host, but the reason you're engaged with Business Buzz is because you're a great person. You've got great personality. We love you running your Business Buzz events. So don't lose that when you come to do one-to-ones. Remember that networking is not about selling. Networking is about building those connections, building that trust that leads to opportunity, and ultimately the sales will come to you in due course. Know what it is you want to achieve as well. This is really important. So from your one-to-ones, what is it you want to achieve at the end of the one-to-one? Now, again, this varies slightly for different people. So you might be looking to expand your connections. That's part of the concept of networking, and it's really important. You may be searching for trusted partners. really important, maybe for introductions, because you're building a core of people who you want to make sure that you've got in your inner circle, if you like. I don't really like that phrase, but it's not a clique. It's a group of people who you know and trust, and you would like to refer other businesses to them, or people you want to work with yourself. You want to use your one-to-ones to help you support your buzz and to help it grow organically, so that those people come back, and as part of the one exercise, the one in the 3-2-1 principle, then they know that they can introduce people to business buzz, because they'll get that great, friendly and inclusive welcome. You may be looking for new business, and you may be looking for new opportunities. What I would say is, if you're looking for new business, you do have to remember that networking is more of a marathon than a sprint. There are always those quick wins, but they are few and far between. The networking is more of a long-term game, and that's the approach that you should try and take. You may run a business where having key introducers is fundamental to the growth of your business. So you may be wanting to achieve relationships or to identify key introducers to help you grow your business. But also you might be looking as a new host, or a host who's got a change in their team, that you might be looking for a new ambassador to support you at your buzz. So there are lots and lots of things you could be looking to achieve from your one-to-ones. This is only a short list. There may be other things that you have in mind. So how do you make the most of your one-to-ones? So it fundamentally comes down to making sure that you do a number of things. And firstly of those is to ask the right questions. I'm going to give you some examples. You will have to find your own questions, and these are just probably the first question in the equation. So for me, when I'm doing one-to-ones, because Business Buzz is a marketing tool, so as a new host or an ambassador, it's about elevating your profile, which is a marketing exercise. I will often ask people, what does your business marketing look like? If they say to me, I'm absolutely brilliant at it, there are conversations I won't explore. If they said to me, or do you know what, really pants at my marketing, it's the thing I find the most difficult, we would then have a conversation with them about maybe hosting is a right opportunity, maybe sponsorship is a great opportunity, maybe becoming an ambassador would work for them, or maybe even just a Buzz Plus. So there are lots of, it's a very simple question, but it opens the door to the next set of questions that lead me to be able to establish whether I can talk to them about how they get more or better involved with Business Buzz. But you may be a will writer, and there's no harm in being direct. If what you do is will writing, you can ask the question, do you have a will? You know, and that's a closed question, so it's a yes or a no answer. And depending on that, there'll be another question that you can ask. So if the answer is yes, you might want to explore whether that will is still relevant, because they might have had a change of circumstances within their family. And if the answer is no, you might want to explore why they haven't got a will. The same applies here if you're in wealth management. Do you have a pension? It's a really simple, direct question that opens the dialogue to see whether there's an opportunity for some business or to work together. Another important question is to ask something like, what gets you out of bed in the morning? What is it in your business that you absolutely love? Because if you can find out what their passion is, you can see a little bit more about who they are and how you might be able to support them and help them in their business. But equally, it's important to know what people find challenging. So if you're a virtual assistant or a virtual PA, this is a really powerful question, because if you say to somebody, what part of your business do you find most challenging? And they go, do you know what? I really hate doing my expenses. I hate sitting on zero and keying it all in. You may be able to support them to do that better, or you may be able to get them over or through a pinch point in their business by being able to support them or knowing people that can do that. So asking the right questions throughout your one-to-one, building to where you want to be able to go, is really important. And I would say the thing about asking questions, it takes time and it takes practice, and you'll ask a question, you'll get a wrong answer sometimes, or you'll get a bit of change of body language, and you know that you haven't quite asked it right. So the next time you tailor it and you soften it, or you change the direction. It is a learning curve. So please don't feel that once you've got a set of questions that you have to stick to them. You can adapt them as you move forward. But I would also say, please don't forget the buzz angle. I know I've just touched on this, but when you're having a one-to-one, you might want to think about some other things to do with buzz. So I nearly always ask the people I have one-to-ones with, because they come off the back of my business buzz events. How was your buzz experience so far? How has your experience been? It's great to know that they're having a really good time and they're getting a lot out of it. But every now and then someone will say, do you know what? I'm not happy with this, or this circumstance happened. And we can reassure them that those negative experiences that sometimes happen are the minority rather than the majority. And if it's something really serious, you can always refer it back to myself as your regional lead, or to Emma, and we'll happily pick up that conversation with them so that we can smooth out any little wrinkles that they might have got along the way. But equally so with the buzz angle, we'd like you to think about, is this person potentially a new sponsor? Or is this person potentially my next ambassador? Do I need another ambassador? And would this person make a great ambassador for me? Also, might this person be a potential new host? Yeah, both Emma and I are looking to grow our regions. So we are looking for new hosts. And even where we have established events, we have opportunities for people to take over and to host those events. So there's always an opportunity, and you don't necessarily have to have that conversation, but if you've got it in the back of your mind, you could then say, I met this great person after Rugby Buzz, for example, and I think they might make a great host, or I'd like to think about them being another ambassador for my business, so for my buzz. So these are conversations that once you've had the one-to-one, you can pick these conversations up with myself or Emma as regional leads, and we will more than happily follow up for you. We will probably have these people on our radar as well. So if you've thought about it, it's great for you to let us know. But equally, you might want to say, will this person benefit from having a Buzz Plus account? Yeah, you will benefit as a host if you can get people to become Buzz Pluses where their home event is your buzz. But again, it's that thing, you might just go, this person needs an elevated profile, Buzz Plus will help them out with that. I'll pass that to James for him to have that conversation. So Emma and I are more than happy to pick up these conversations. We don't need you to have in-depth conversations with them, but we obviously have a buzz angle, and we'd like you to be thinking about it while you're doing your one-to-ones. Yeah. So another really powerful element is you can use Buzz Plus, or rather you can use your one-to-ones as an opportunity to get people through the door. Buzz can be a door opener. So if you've got a prospect that you'd really like to have a conversation around about how you can do business with them, but you're not sure quite how to have that conversation, why don't you pick the phone up to them and say to them, did you know I'm the host of Business Buzz in Warwick? Yeah? It's relaxed, informal, mix and mingle style networking. It's really credible because I'm not going to sell you a membership. It's pay as you go, drop in by design. Why don't you come along and experience it? You get them to your buzz, hopefully. They'll say, yes, I'd love to come along. You can get them along to your buzz, and then you can start to build your relationship, build that bit of trust that allows you to then have the conversation around, I am the host of Business Buzz, or I'm an ambassador for Business Buzz in Warwick. But did you know I also do this as my own business? And therefore you've opened the door, and then because they've already got a trust element with you, because you've invited them to Buzz, they're more likely to listen to your conversation around what it is you actually do in your business and how you can benefit them. Yeah. So use Business Buzz as a door opener to get people through, to get people in the room who you want to have conversations with. Once they're in the room, you can then use the one-to-one to have that next step in the conversation. So you could probably get some clients or some work out of using Buzz as a door opener. So introductions and referrals. So what's the difference? So I'm going to start with referrals. So a referral is where you have personally used somebody and you've got personal experience of the service that they provide. Okay. So when you make a referral, you're going to refer somebody because you've had a great experience. Okay. What you do have to bear in mind is that a referral reflects on you and your credibility and your reputation. So if I make a bad referral, it reflects badly on me. And I have to bear in mind that even with somebody who I know who's really reliable, and I've had a great experience from it, if they've suddenly got very busy with work or their business has suddenly shifted and it's gone up a gear, they may not be great at picking up referrals from people like me. So, so rather than do a referral, I would tend to do introductions myself. So an introduction is where you tell one person about another person. So one business owner about another business owner, and then you leave the conversation for those two people to pick up and discuss where they want to go with it. Obviously, when you do an introduction, I would say, I'm introducing you to, because this is what they're doing, or this is the support that they need, and I know that you're one of the best people to be able to help them with that. Yeah. But it's up to the two individuals to then pick up the conversation and move it forward. I would also say, where you do introductions and referrals, it's really good practice when you see that person the next time, particularly if the person you've introduced, is to ask them how they got on, what was their experience, because that feedback is really important to you. So if you do an introduction and it never gets picked up by the other person, you need to bear in mind that even if they're in your inner circle and they're part of your core networking, maybe you shouldn't be doing an introduction to them if they're not able to pick it up. Or you can then have a conversation and say, I know I did some introductions to you. How did you get on? And they'll say, oh, I'm just too busy at the moment. And you know that right now is not the best time to be doing that, but you're not necessarily going to forget about them. So moving on, promise. If you promise to do something, make sure that you deliver, and do it in a timely manner and set an expectation. So this kind of leads on nicely from the referrals and introduction bit. If you offer to do an introduction, tell somebody when it is you're likely to do it. So for example, if I had a one-to-one with somebody on a Monday, but I'm out of the office Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'm probably going to say to that person, I'm happy to do this introduction to you, but it won't be until towards the end of the week, because I'm out of the office for the next 3 days. And don't forget to then do the one-to-one. Equally, make sure that you turn up for your one-to-ones on time. That's part of your promise. And I would suggest, if you're doing a face-to-face one-to-one, that you're there a little bit early, at least 10 minutes early, so that you can sit down, you can make sure you've got a coffee, you're comfortable. So when that person walks through the door, you're actually in charge of the meeting, the one-to-one, you're driving it. You've got that. If you walk in last minute and you're all flustered and they're already sat there, they've kind of got the control. So I would say, be timely in turning up for your one-to-ones a little bit before time. And where you're doing things like introductions and referrals, or you promise to do anything, make sure that you set an expectation and that you deliver on that expectation. Okay. So networking tips. I believe this is a really great way to add value that costs you nothing. So my top tip when I meet people who are networking is to say, less is definitely more. Yeah. I would much prefer that people focused on doing one business buzz event where they put that in their diary, and they never deviate from it. It's always there. It's a fixed point in their diary. And then if they have a little bit of extra time, they might want to pop along to another business buzz, varying from month to month. Where people are trying to do 5 or 6 or 7 business buzzes in a month, I mean, that's great. And I love the fact that they're that passionate and they're that engaged with business buzz. But actually the long-term benefit of that, the long-term outcome from that is that they won't necessarily be engaged, because they will get network fatigued. They won't be able to do their one-to-ones. Networking will start to get in the way of their business as their business begins to grow and develop and evolve. And then they'll stop buzzing altogether. So it would be much better for people to do one business buzz, focus on that, stick to the 3-2-1 principle, and make the most of the opportunity by doing a little bit. Giving away networking advice, tips, costs you nothing, but it does add a huge amount of value, because often people don't know how to network as well as we do. So by people who are coming in who are new, they're new faces, you can give them some guidance, and it makes them feel more assured, and you're more supportive, and that they know that you're doing it for the kind of advice that you're giving there, where it's do less but do it better, is actually of much more value than trying to say to them, oh, you need to be going to this networking and that working, and you know, there's too much out there. So my top tip, less is definitely more. So don't forget that the other thing you can do is you can give some guidance. Now that we have the contact feature in the Buzz app, you can help people get up to speed to make the most of the Buzz app opportunity. So this is not about Buzz Plus, but this is about making sure that the people you meet have thought about adding a profile pic, adding 2 sentences that explain who they are in your profile section, yeah, adding a business logo to the business profile, and then adding a couple of sentences around what it is their business does, yeah, because of the contact feature now in Buzz. So the contact feature is you can scan one another's tickets in the Buzz app using the camera on your phone, and you can build a contact list of the people that you've met. This is about sharing contact details without the need to exchange business cards. So ideally, what you want is all of your visitors, all of your regular visitors, the people you've done one-to-ones with, to have a brilliant Buzz app profile. So that is a great way to add value. It helps them maximize the opportunity when they're in the room, and for them to be able to contact the people that they've met and know that the people that they've met will be able to look at their profile in the Buzz app and have a good idea of who they are and what they do. So this is a great way to add value. You don't have to spend a great deal of time on it, but if you have your app to hand, you can show them very quickly. After all, it's only the drop-down list in the top right-hand corner, and they just need to spend a few minutes popping something in there. Now, they can obviously do that at home, but if you've shown them, you've given them some great advice that costs nothing to anybody. Cool. So help them add a profile pic, a personal and a business bio. Yeah. What you should have in your one-to-ones, towards the end of your one-to-ones, is you need to have a call to action. So what do you want this person that you've had this great chat with to do for you? And my standard question here would be asking them to introduce you to the next person in the networking equation. So this is something along the lines of, we've had a great one-to-one. You now have a really good understanding of who I am and what I do. So who do you know that you're able to introduce me to that might benefit from my services? And for me, this is like a 3-edged sword or a tricorn hat. The first point is that you're telling this person that you are looking for business. People won't intuitively think about the fact you're looking for business. If you're having a great chat, but you've got no call to action, they won't necessarily go away and do anything. So by doing this, you're telling them you're looking for business. The second one is that you're kind of saying to them, I think you should be using my service or buying my product or working with me. But what you're not doing is you're not selling directly to them. You're asking them to go away and think about who they can introduce you to. And hopefully what would happen is within a very relatively short period of time, it will have been mulling around in the back of their head, and they will go, actually, I should be working with James because James does this and I need support in that. Or he and I are, we're in the same sector, but we're not doing the same thing. So we could collaborate and be better at what we do. So that's the second point. And my third point is that you are asking them to find somebody that they can introduce you to. And I would say most of the time when I ask this question, people go, oh, I can't think of anybody. Okay. But tomorrow when they're doing another one-to-one and they're having a chat with somebody and that person says, do you know what? I hate marketing. And they'll go, why don't I introduce you to James? Because he's got a great marketing solution for you. Yeah. So although you might get a negative on the day, the long-term aim is that they're thinking about you. And because they now know you and you've started to build that trust and that opportunity, they will be thinking about how they can help you. Small business owners generally want to support other small business owners, so this is a really powerful way. Make sure you have a call to action. Tailor it to what you want to get that person to do for you. Okay, so and finally, finish on a positive note. So this is a really simple question, something along the lines of, what else can I do for you? Or how can Buzz help you? So what can Buzz do for you as well? Yeah, again, here you might get, you'll probably get, I can't think of anything, or I don't know, but you've left this in a really positive mode. If you have already offered to make an introduction, you've kind of covered this. So, excuse me, don't feel super pressured that you need to be giving away lots and lots of time and lots of expertise, but it's just a really positive way, and it makes you look brand positive. So you're brand positive about Buzz, you're brand positive about your personal profile, and you're brand positive about your business profile. So by offering what else can we do, leaves that person thinking, wow, they're really great. You know, Alison at Rugby is an absolutely brilliant host. She's made me feel really inclusive. She's given me some great support. And then she wanted to know what else she could do to help me. You know, I'm going to go away and I'm really going to champion Business Buzz and Alison and her business. So, so I'm going to wrap it up there. Like I said to you, if you've thought of any questions, or you'd like to know some more information, or you've got some challenges around doing one-to-ones, please feel free to reach out to both myself or Emma. We're more than happy to have a conversation and to help you build better one-to-ones, to help you build a better Buzz event in your local community. So thank you all very much.